Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for virtual SPX and HBAR price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're going to start with SPX here, where we are looking to our chart here for the 2 hours. So basically on the lower time frame here for virtuals, we got something as an ABC 3 waves toward the upside here. It was followed, of course, by a potential deep impulse. Well, it can be, of course, very likely that it is an impulse, but I have a doubt with it because, of course, at the end here, we don't see a very nice ending, right? I see here a zigzag kind of, and of course, a 3 waves again. So for me, this is not looking like a perfect. I would say it is much more likely that it is an ABC here. And I just started out, of course, that this is an impulse there, especially that we got invalidation. So basically, I'm going to call this a W, X, and a Y here, of course, after zigzag correction, potential another zigzag or a flat here with a deep wave C, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and especially that this looks like a zigzag. Yeah, so I'm not convinced here that it is a finished wave 5 there. So therefore, we are looking after it here, and especially after our blue box here, taken perfectly, we are looking at a 1, 2, and we're looking for wave 3, wave 4, perfect timing and perfect target right now taken. And therefore, I'm looking for something to push for higher, of course, again for virtuals, especially that we're looking here very corrective. In case that it is an A, B, and a C, it is what it is there. So A, B, of course, a triangle potentially here. However, this high has took, of course, the triangle, meaning it has invalidated unless, again, W, X, and a Y. So what does it mean? It means that this might be, of course, your triangle there, and you have a very small A, B, C, W, your triangle as an X, and an A, B, and a C expanding flat here as a wave Y. And that means, of course, it might take the wave 4 target and timing, perfect timing, by the way, and then, of course, starting to the push toward the upside. So I'm looking here for a wave 5 to unfold around the 0.618 and the 1.0 Fibonacci level at 1.27 and $1.36 for virtuals. Yep, so these are the possibilities right now. Now, basically, your invalidation for this scenario is very, very far, so you cannot really take it into consideration as a stop loss here. But basically, I would say, I mean, this is invalidation of bullish. Basically, I would say if there is something deeper than the 1-to-1 fib level, then it is the red flag there. And what I mean with it is this 1-to-1 fib level taken from the W to the X here and to the Y. And that means below the 0.38 exactly in confluence. So that is your red flag here. Meaning if the price will continue to drop there to this area, okay, this is a red flag and we have to be careful with it. Okay, if we don't see a reaction towards the upside, that means, of course, yeah, something else is unfolding, very likely to be very, very strong toward the downside again. So yes, these are the possibilities for virtuals. We'll see what's gonna happen. Basically, higher probability, of course, here to push toward the upside again. Of course, one more low is requested. It's not gonna push directly, but we still need one more low here to finish up, of course, this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And taking the low with it, and then, of course, starting the push for higher. Yep, that was it for virtuals. Let's move to the next one, which is SPX 6900. So for SPX, we are looking also at the lower time frame here for the 1 hour chart, where we have bottomed, of course, here for wave 2 in the perfect target. Of course, let me remind you, of course, we are potentially in a 1-2 here. Finished impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, and we have a W, X, and Y, or yeah, I doubt it that it can be an ABC, wave 4 interfering. We cannot be in an impulse here. So yeah, even if it is a kind of like expanding diagonal, I cannot really take it. Wave 5 is also shorter than the wave 3, so very likely that it can be something as a WX and a Y inside this wave A. And we can be in a wave C, by the way. So the wave C looks impulsive, so it can be an A, B, and a C here for wave A, and then B and a C. Finished, of course, inside this blue box, and we're looking here at 3 waves up. Yeah, so we gotta be careful with this wave A there. There are 2 possibilities here. Don't forget that we might be as well in a triangle. Your triangle, of course, here can be the ABCDE. And currently we are working on the wave D finished, and yeah, can be a final wave, meaning A, B, C, and currently wave D. One more wave E, and then we push down. Now I'm gonna remove this because of course the price has overlaid so much. And by the way, I think we don't need this blue box anymore, so let's make the visuals a little bit much more comfortable. So basically right now, if we are looking at double 1, 2, wave 3, 4, and a 5, I'm still looking here for a 4 and a 5, but problem there. Yeah, we have a problem. Nothing is ready to push for higher. I see invalidation even before it is taken. I see it already taken. Why? Because of course, if this is a drop there and still corrective, you are expecting another drop at least here as a WXY, zigzag, flat, whatever it is. And of course, the invalidation will be taken sooner or later. All right. And therefore, I see much higher possibility here for the triangle unfolding here as an A, B, C, D, and a E. This is what I'm looking for. Basically, if this is an impulse there, I'm looking for the 1-to-1 fib level as well for a wave D here. And it might be, of course, a $0.5 exactly there. Very psychological also. So yeah, I think that this is exactly what's going on there, and it can be a bigger structure here for SPX, so we gotta be careful. So we might get invalidation for this one too, because we are very close to the 886 anyway. And if we are still in a triangle, that means of course 3 waves down finished, you are in a triangle, meaning another structure will push for lower there. And that means for SPX here, it means that you might be in a deeper wave 4. Okay, deeper wave 4, and that means of course here can be something very deeper wave 4, because we finished wave 3, by the way. This one too, we are experimenting an extended wave 5, by the way. If this is gonna be extended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an ending diagonal or in an impulse, but obviously this is going to fail, meaning our wave 4 has just started right now within these 3 waves. Now, of course, triangle, and we're looking for one more drop, meaning this wave 4, of course, is very likely to drop to this area without invalidation. Yeah, so let's get the target, by the way. So if a wave 4 is unfolding there for an impulse on the all-time history, so we're looking here, we're looking anyway for this area, guys. Yeah, so definitely that's why I have the 0.23 here. This is wave 4, guys. So we are looking, of course, anyway for this red zone to be tested, and currently we didn't reach even the 0.23, which is the minimum requirement for wave 4, and that's why we're gonna drop down again for SPX. So yes, I'm a little bit much more confident with the scenario here that it is unfolding. I'm going back to the lower time frame. So yeah, I see this working much more perfectly, of course, as a potential impulse here in double 1, 2, guys. Okay, so I'm looking here for wave D, wave E, and then we push toward the downside. So I'm gonna trace this, of course, for the next analysis, something like this. Okay, this is the path that I'm looking for. Basically, those targets are hard to be taken right now, and honestly, I don't see them. I'm gonna even remove this. Is very, very low possibility. I'm gonna keep only this one, this impulse, in case it's gonna play, but I doubt it, guys. Okay, now in case that we take this high again, this might be invalidation of a bearish. Okay. And that means, of course, it might, of course, move for a wave 5, but don't forget, it doesn't bring you out yet from a triangle. It might be a wave C again, okay? So I would say invalidation of bearish is exactly there, okay? This is, I would say, invalidation of triangle, okay? Because we still have the next possibility, ABC, and boom, again. Yeah, so the invalidation, total invalidation will be there. But yeah, so we still have a lot even to invalidate the bearish scenario. Meaning if we push for higher, it still can be a wave C even in an ABC there, and then pushing for lower again. Yeah, so, oh my God. So pushing for lower again. This is basically what I'm looking for SPX here. The next one we have is HBAR. So HBAR as well. Well, yeah, it's already invalidated on the lower time frame, obviously. So I don't see anything working here as something bullish. But basically for HBAR, if we're looking at the daily, we have also a big triangle. Yeah, so a large triangle formation here. So we are in a potential A, B, C, D, and are working on a wave E potentially, but this wave D is not yet done. Knowing that the 1-to-1 fib level taken, and this looks so far like kind of 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and a 5. But yeah, you cannot consider this. Wave 4 is of course touching the zone 1, which is not an impulse. It is something very complex here. So I would say internally, if this is gonna be a structure to be finished somehow on the daily, well, it can be, of course, a starting an impulse from there as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, the wave 5 can be unfinished, still unfolding something toward the downside. And definitely we don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because, of course, this invalidation was already taken. So I'm still looking here for something for lower. I would count this, of course, as a potential 1, 2, and then wave 3, 4, and a 5 unfinished. And it can be here because of the zigzag structure. Wave 1 can be something like that. And we have, of course, wave 2 just finished. And we're looking for wave 3 toward the downside here to finish the wave C. And that means I'm looking here very likely for a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Of course, this is the ending diagonal that it might be unfolding over there for a wave 5. And what does it mean here? Well, it can be, of course, in a bigger picture, an A, you have a structure A, B, and a C for a wave B, and then you're looking for a wave C here in this, in this bracket magenta scenario. By all means, it can be, of course, an A, B, and a wave C. Yeah, so A, B, and a C here, very complex. Of course, this wick is horrible. Yeah, so you have an A, B, and a C running flat, or W, X, and a Y, and then we start from there. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, different scenario, you can be also in a W, an X here, and a wave Y again. The wave Y can be an A, B, and a C in a zigzag. Yeah, where you have finished potentially here. An impulse, and then you push for lower again. But yeah, I think in both case scenario, it might end up with the same way, ending diagonal here, very likely. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for here. And the next target, therefore, in precision, I would say, I'm looking here for the wave 3 in this diagonal. This diagonal, of course, might be your target in a wave 3 in case you are looking for some targets. Yeah, so this might be the scenario there. Now, I have also a new version from HBAR as well, so it's very interesting to look at it. So yeah, as you can see on the 1-minute chart, we still have the bearish signal there, invalidation of the bullish. Horrible, right? A lot of pressure coming in, and of course we are very bearish. Let me check the higher time frame. 3 minutes. Yeah, again, invalidation of the bullish, bearish even on the 3 minutes. So obviously it's a very clear signal, guys. So we are bearish there. Yeah, so we're looking for something bearish, and especially 3 waves and invalidation taken. So I'm looking, of course, for this zone for HBAR as well. Yep, so these are the price prediction for virtuals, SPX and HBAR. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.